Hello students, good morning. Now let's begin with part 3 video of our chapter 2 solutions. In the previous video we did the expressing concentration of solution. Right? What was there in that? Mole fractions, molarity, W by W, that is weight by weight, volume by volume, volume by mass, isn't it? This was all we have done in the previous video. Hope you are doing all those things. So today we are going to start with the topic that is solubility. In our introductions, we have already seen that the important kind of solution is what? Liquid solution, isn't it? In the introduction itself, we have seen that. So, which are liquid solution? In which solvent that is going to be a liquid, isn't it? So, there are three kinds of liquid solution. What are they? They are liquid in liquid, solid in liquid, gases in liquid, isn't it? So first of all, what do we understand by the term of solubility? What is solubility? Right? So it is the maximum amount of solute dissolving in a specified amount of solvent at room temperature, that is going to be the solubility. Understood? It is a maximum amount of solute, यानी जितना solute आप ले रहे हो means that solute has to be dissolved in that amount of solvent and at a particular temperature, that is going to be said as a solubility. Now this solubility depends on what? It depends on nature of solute, then nature of solvent, temperature and pressure. Okay, they are involved they are depend on nature of solute, nature of solvent, temperature and pressure. Basically, what happened here, when sugar get dissolved, for example, if I give you, when sugar get dissolved in water, then the sugar atoms or molecules, यानी sugar के जो atoms और molecules जो होंगे, that gets separated and it gets attracted with water molecules or they interact with it. Understood or not? Basically what happen here, it happens when you are taking a sugar and it get dissolved in a water. Suppose here we are taking a beaker, in this water is filled, right? And I am putting here sugar. So sugar is going to dissolve in this beaker, isn't it? So after that, when it gets attracted with this water molecules or interact with it, what happens? When they interact with each other, means what they interact, when the sugar molecules and water molecules interact with each other, that process is known as dissolutions. Here you can see solubility of solids in liquid. In that, we have to see the terms which are involved in this, that is terms related to solubility of a solid in a liquid. First one is dissolutions. Now just now I told you, when the solid solute is added to the solvent. Here what we have taken the solute, that is sugar, and solvent, you know that water. Some solute dissolves and its concentration increases in the solution, isn't it? जैसे तुम पानी में शुगर की क्वांटिटी बढ़ाओगे तो उसका concentration लेवल बढ़ जाएगा. So that process is known as dissolutions. Okay, as I give you the examples of sugar and water, right? So here the beaker, in that water is present and I have put in the sugar in that. So this molecules जो है यानी यहाँ जो molecules है, that molecules is going to dispose in the means ये जो sugar मैंने जो डाला है, sugar को वो पूरी तरह से dissolve कर लेगा. So that molecules will continuously moves on. ठीक है, यहाँ पे जो ये मान लो दिस water is there, right? And this dot dot you can see, that is the sugar. Now this sugar and water, when they comes in contact with each other continuously, when they are moving, right? So it can so happen that the molecules, they might come closer to each other. ठीक है, एक दूसरे के पास आने लगेंगे. So when they come closer to each other, what happens? The solute particles in between gets interact with each other, isn't it? So at that time, this process is known as a, what you call as a crystallization. When some solute particles in solution combine with each other and get separated out of solution, this process is known as a crystallization. You are getting me or not? When that molecules comes closer to each other, the solid particles in this in betweens, they get interact with each other, and that process is known as a crystallization. In any solution, if solute and solvent interaction take place, so that is what dissolutions, and solute and solute interaction take place, that is what crystallization. So in this solution, both the process is occurring simultaneously, dissolution also and crystallization also, right? So यहाँ पे दोनों प्रोसेस साइमल्टेनियसली टेकिंग प्लेस, दैट इज व्हाट dissolution as well as crystallization also. So at point of equilibrium, it is said that the rate of dissolutions is equal to rate of crystallization. That terms which we called as डायनामिक इक्विलिब्रियम. यानी डायनामिक इक्विलिब्रियम में क्या हो रहा है कि both the processes taking place simultaneously, right? Dissolutions also and crystallization process also occurring at the same rate. So you can see that rate of dissolutions equal to rate of crystallization. Okay. सो इसमें क्या हो रहा है, डायनामिक इक्विलिब्रियम में जो थर्ड टर्म है इसमें इन्वॉल्व, व्हाट हैपनिंग हियर, व्हेन नंबर ऑफ सोल्यूट पार्टिकल्स गोइंग इनटू सॉल्यूशन, ठीक है, जो डिसोल्यूशन भी हो रहा है, गोइंग इनटू सॉल्यूशन मीन्स अ सोल्यूट पार्टिकल जो है सॉल्वेंट के साथ डिसॉल्व हो रहा है और वो सॉल्यूशन फॉर्म हो रहा है, एंड दैट इज इक्वल टू द सोल्यूट पार्टिकल्स सेपरेटिंग आउट, यानी जो सॉल्यूशन बना है उसको हम सेपरेट कर रहे हैं सोल्यूट और सॉल्वेंट को. सो दैट प्रोसेस इज कॉल्ड एज crystallization. Understood? So that is dissolutions and crystallization process occurring at the same rate. Okay, so at the point of equilibrium, what we can say that the rate of crystallization is equal to rate of dissolutions. Okay, means यहाँ पे सॉल्यूट जो है सॉल्वेंट के साथ डिसॉल्व हो रहा है और सॉल्यूशन फॉर्म हो रहा है, ये क्या हो गया, डिसोल्यूशंस। और जो solution है, that is separating out solvent and solute, that process is called as a crystallization. Okay, according to this process we classify the solutions into two parts, that is saturation and unsaturated solution. Okay, so first we will see what is saturated solution. Unsaturated solution is in which more solute can be dissolved without changing the temperature. I repeat, an unsaturated solution is one in which more solute can be dissolved without changing the temperature. मीन्स दो सॉल्यूशंस इन विच द मोस्ट सॉल्यूट कैन बी डिजॉल्व, ठीक है, जो सॉल्यूशन में सॉल्यूट कैन बी डिजॉल्व मोर एट रूम टेम्परेचर, सच सॉल्यूशन इज नोन एज व्हाट, unsaturated solution. Okay, next term is saturated solution. What is saturated solution? The process of dissolution continues until the solution attains a certain maximum concentration, right? So here the process of dissolution continues until the solution attains a certain maximum concentration. Sorry, here some mistake is there. Such a solution. What is it? Such a solution in which no more solute can be dissolved at the same temperature and pressure is known as saturated solution. Okay, here what does it mean? It means that solution in which no more of solute dissolves at room temperature. That means, for example, if I take glass of water, in that sugar will not dissolve, right? मीन्स व्हाट हैपन्स कि वो शुगर आप ऐड कर रहे हो लेकिन वो डिज़ोल्व नहीं हो रहा है. व्हाट आई एम गोइंग टू से हियर, दैट इज वी सेज दैट if a solute plus solvent when dissolved to form a solution, means forward process जो हो रहा है, here the forward process what is here, that is dissolutions, and the backward process means reverse process जो हो रहा है वो crystallization. यानी this solute plus solvent will give you the solutions. Means here the solute and solvent dissolves to form what? To form a solution, and crystallizes to form what? To form solvent and solute. Understood? So in saturated solution, dynamic equilibrium gets established between the process of dissolutions and the crystallization. You get it or not? Understood? So when we talk about the solubility over here, solubility means what? In first slide I told you, the amount of solid that dissolves in 100 gram of solvent at a given temperature to form saturated solution. That is what we called as a solubility. So what processes we did till now? Process of solubility of solid in a liquid में. First we did K dissolutions. What happened in that? When solid is added continuously in a solvent, the solid keeps on dissolving, isn't it? And the concentration of the solution increases. That process is called as a dissolutions. And some solid particles in a solution get separated out of the solution. Some solid particles जो है वो solution में से separate कर दिया गया. That process is known as a crystallization. A stage is reached when the dissolution and crystallization process occur at the same rate. Means at this stage what happened, the number of solid particles which is going into the solution will be equal to the solid particles separating out, and it can be called that a state of dynamic equilibrium. Okay? At equilibrium what happens, no more solute can be dissolved. Hence, saturated solution is obtained at the given conditions of what? What was the condition? Temperature and pressure. So, thus the concentration of solute in such a solution is its solubility. Okay, till here we have seen, right? Now, we will see that factors on which solubility of solids in liquid depends. Okay, so these are the factors on which solubility of solid in liquid depends. That is, first we will see nature of solute and the solvent. What is nature of solute and the solvent? But it can be understood by saying like dissolves like. है ना? Like dissolves like. That means it means that polar or ionic compounds like NaCl dissolve in a polar solvents. है ना? NaCl is what? Common salt is your ionic compound. Right? When this NaCl dissolve in water, that is your polar solvents, and almost insoluble in non-polar solvents. क्या होता है नॉन पोलर सॉल्वेंट्स? लाइक बेंजीन C6H6. ठीक है. सो नॉन पोलर क्या होते हैं? नॉन पोलर मीन्स व्हाट? विच नो कोवैलेंट और ऑर्गेनिक कंपाउंड्स. अभी ऐसे कंपाउंड्स कौन से होते हैं? फॉर एग्जाम्पल यू कैन गिव नैप्थैलिन, एंथ्रासिन. They are soluble in non-polar solvents like benzene and ether, and less soluble in polar solvents like water. Solubility in general is results of three kinds of interparticles interactions, that is solute के साथ, solute solvent के साथ, and solvent solvent interactions. These three kinds of interactions takes place in generally. So nature of solute and the solvent, when we talk about this nature of solid and solvent, there is a principle in chemistry we says like dissolve, right? What does it mean? It means that polar solute when they are soluble in water, polar solute जो होते हैं, they are what? Soluble in water. Whereas non-polar or organic solutes जो होते हैं, they are going to be soluble in organic solvents. ये जो non-polar होते हैं, they will be soluble in where it will be soluble? It will be soluble in organic solvents, that is CCl4, benzene, CS2, ether, etc. जितने भी polar solutes are there, they all are soluble in water. But जितने भी non-polar solutes है, they are soluble only in organic solvent, that is CCl4, benzene, CS2 and ether, etc. Suppose if we take the example of salt, that is going to be readily soluble in water because salts are ionic solute, and those ionic solutes when they all are going to soluble in water means those ionic solutes they all means gets dissolved in water. Now sugar also soluble in water. Salts get easily dissolved in water with respect to or compared to sugar. ठीक है, जो सॉल्ट्स जो है वो पानी के साथ बहुत आसान से घुल जाता है एज विथ रिस्पेक्ट टू वॉट? शुगर. शुगर जो है इजीली सॉल्युबल नहीं होता. Sugar that is not easily soluble in water. Why? Because generally it is what? It is a carbohydrates, isn't it? It is what? Carbohydrates. So its solubility is less as compared to common salts. Sugar जो है carbohydrates है, so its solubility is less as compared to common salts. Similarly, as I gave you previous that the example of naphthalene and anthracene, if we are talking about the naphthalene and anthracene, while mothballs पता ना, जो हम गर्म कपड़ों के अंदर रखते हैं, right, that is not going to be soluble in water. But if you put the same things in benzene, CCl4, that is going to readily soluble. So it depends upon nature of solute and solvent. तो ऐसे ज़रूरी नहीं है कि सॉल्वेंट जो है हमेशा सोल्यूट जो है हमेशा सॉल्वेंट के साथ आसानी से घुल जाए. कुछ ऐसे होते हैं जो उसके नेचर पे डिपेंड करता है. ओके, सिंपल एग्जांपल आई गिव शुगर एंड सॉल्ट. सॉल्ट जो है इजीली डिसॉल्व हो जाएगा, बट शुगर विल नॉट easily dissolve in water because they are generally what it is carbohydrates. So the solubility will be less as compared to the common salts. Then second effect is temperature, isn't it? What is it? Temperature. It is very important कि temperature पे how it depends, means we know that the process जो होते हैं it may be what? Endothermic or exothermic, isn't it? The process which is taking place over here, it may be endothermic or exothermic. In endothermic process, the process by absorption of heat, means यहाँ पे जो absorption of heat होता है, that is what? Endothermic process. तो यहाँ पे solubility increase with increase in temperature. ठीक है, तो absorption of heat जब प्रोसेस में टेक प्लेस करता है तो उसकी सॉल्युबिलिटी भी इंक्रीज हो जाएगी जैसे जैसे उसका टेम्परेचर इंक्रीज होगा, isn't it? And second type of process which we have, that is exothermic process. In that what happen? Solubility will decrease with increase in temperature. See the difference. In endothermic, absorption of heat is there, right? So the solubility will increase with increase in temperature, and exothermic process में solubility decrease with increase in temperature. Okay, next is effect of pressure. In effect of pressure, you know that solid is what? Solid is incompressible, right? So they are incompressible, that's why solid is that's why this solid will not, the pressure will not affect on this. Why? Because solid is rigid, isn't it? If we apply pressure on solid, we can't compress solid. आप सॉलिड को, पत्थर को आप बड़े साइज का पत्थर हो तो उसको छोटा कर सकते हो दबा के? नो, तोड़ के कर सकते होगे, बट यू कैन compress that solid. So that effect of pressure of solubility in solid, solubility of solid in liquid, that is not very effective. Such we say that effect of pressure of solutions generally that is going to be very small, or you can say negligible. Okay, so this was all about the factors affecting the solubility of a solid in a liquid. So I hope this topic you have understood properly. If you have any problem, you can ask me. Okay, so today we will stop till here only. In the next lecture, we will see the solubility of a gas in a liquid what are the factors affecting the solubility of gas in a liquid. Then in that also, nature of gas is the effect of temperature and effect of pressure, that we will learn in the next class. Till then, whatever we have done, please go through that and have a notes so that you can remember it very nicely. Okay, till then, take care. Thank you.